Hi, welcome back. This is module 2 of this course on strategic leadership. We just finished going through module 1 on developing vision and purpose, and now we'll begin module 2, which is going to focus on strategic thinking, what it takes to be a leader who can think strategically. After this course, we'll have 4 more modules, one on decision making, one on setting priorities and goals, another on delegation, and another on leading change. But for now, let's focus in on how to be a strategic thinker. We'll begin here with part 1, which is just going to be an overview of the main principles of strategic thinking. What are the key concepts that you'll want to understand if you want to be a strategic thinker? Let's start out by asking the question of, what do you think strategic thinking is all about? What does that term even mean to you, to be a strategic thinker? Let's start with a simple definition of strategic thinking that I like to use. Strategic thinking is the ability to come up with an effective and comprehensive high-level plan or approach to accomplish a vision or purpose. Once again, strategic thinking is the ability to come up with an effective and comprehensive high-level plan or approach to accomplish a vision or purpose. So hopefully after module 1, you have some idea of your vision and purpose. And then the big question is, how do I translate that into a plan or into an approach? That's where our strategic thinking now comes into play. So you'll actually find that there are a lot more people in the world who know how to take action than people who know what action would be the best to take. In other words, there's a lot of people out there who you can tell them to do A, B, C, and D, and they can do it. They may or may not want to do it, but they can. They can follow instructions, and they can take actions that you tell them to take. But a strategic thinker, a strategic leader, has to come up with what actions need to be taken, right? That's a big difference. Taking action versus knowing what actions need to be taken. And really part of every leader's job is to be strategic, is to think, what are the key things that need to get accomplished in order for this vision to be fulfilled? And the more leadership responsibility you have, you'll find it becomes more and more critical that you have the ability to think, to plan, and to act strategically. So in this module, I want to focus in on 6 key principles of strategic thinking. And I'm just going to give you a quick overview right now. The first principle is to be outcomes focused. Are you clear on what the outcomes are that you're trying to achieve? And are you focused in on them and how to accomplish each of those outcomes? That's the first principle of strategic thinking. Second, understanding the context of your situation. Do you really know what's going on around you, and what kind of situation are you in? And I'll go into a little bit about a SWOT analysis there as well. Third principle of strategic thinking is the ability to consider the capabilities of your people, your processes, and your technology, and where there may be gaps of what you have versus what you need to successfully achieve your vision. Fourth principle of strategic thinking is the ability to ask good questions. So if you want to think strategically, you have to have the ability to ask good questions. Fifth principle is including others. How do you include others in the strategic planning process? How and when? And lastly, last principle of strategic thinking is simply to reevaluate. As time goes by, as you look at how things are progressing, how do you need to readjust any part of your strategy or approach in achieving your vision? So those are the key principles of strategic thinking that we're going to be looking at throughout the rest of this module.